Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything.
Hey everyone! Today we're delving into the shadows to explore some of the most influential horror games that have sparked childhood memories and provided good times, all while delivering a bit of that chilling, scary excitement. Whether you are a veteran or just starting your journey, just grab your flashlight, check the batteries, and let's uncover some of the most memorable titles that left their mark in gaming history. I'm sure you've seen this coming. Resident Evil, with no doubt, is a classic horror game that even non-gamers are likely familiar with, or have likely encountered the series through films adaptation or discussions in various media. Emerging from the pixelated corridors of the 90s, Resident Evil set the standard for survival horror, earning a cult classic status as everyone's favorite survival action game. Resident Evil is widely known for more than just its zombies and unique bosses like Nemesis or Dr. Salvador. Its impact goes beyond gaming, reaching into popular culture through cosplays, fanfics, and movies, leaving a lasting impression on the horror genre. Also, Resident Evil has some awesome, well-loved characters. Take Leon Kennedy, for example. He's a cool and skilled guy who's been through a lot. Then there's Jill Valentine, a tough and resourceful member of the team. And don't forget Chris Redfield, a strong and determined character. These folks, along with others, bring a lot of excitement and depth to the Resident Evil universe. Resident Evil's influence is rooted in its adept combination of horror and action. Each installment, from the dark Spencer Mansion to the castle of Lady Dimitrescu in Resident Evil 8, merging between heavy action and the classic Japanese style of horror, while maintaining the series' defining elements. Despite this, the series occasionally falls short of satisfying all fans. Some crave the classic survival style like in RE1 and 2, while others lean towards a more action-packed horror as seen in RE6. Now, let's look at another important part of scary video games. Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Emerging from the shadows of 2010, Amnesia revolutionized the horror genre, immersing players in a frightening journey where their sanity falters and fear hides in every dark corner as we navigate the dimly lit corridors with Daniel, the protagonist of the story, someone with an extreme fear of darkness and creatures, found himself defenseless, armed only with a lantern and a few potions. The game employs a distinctive storytelling method, using flashbacks, found notes and diaries to tell its story. I find it amazing, as you begin the game from the end of the story, gradually unraveling what happened in the past before the gameplay took place. The game's appeal doesn't solely rely on generic jump scares completely, while there are surprises and stressful moments throughout the game. They're still not overused. Developers focused more on the suspense of what might be in the dark, making players more aware and cautious, trying to optimize the little sources they have, counting every step, tiptoeing around uncanny entities that can't be vanquished but must be outsmarted. Another core element to its success was the custom stories that offer a unique and personalized gaming experience, as players can explore custom-made scenarios, narratives, and environments crafted by the community. From haunted mansions to eerie dungeons, these custom stories often showcase creative storytelling and atmospheric design, providing players with a fresh and sometimes even more intense experience than the original game. Some custom stories were as famous as the actual game. For example, The Great Work, Key to Freedom, White Knight, and so many that I've had a blast of fun playing them. The Amnesia Custom Stories community has played a significant role in extending the game's longevity and keeping the horror experience alive for players looking for new challenges and scares. I can remember that some famous gaming YouTubers have actually started their careers by playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent and its custom stories. This only shows you how good and fun this game is. Our last stop on the journey through the history of horror gaming is the iconic Silent Hill series. It emerged from the mist of the late 90s, setting a unique and influential path in the gaming world. Silent Hill redefined psychological horror, inviting players into a nightmarish world where reality and nightmare collide. The foggy atmosphere, the unsettling visuals, and the masterful combination of music and sound effects are what makes Silent Hill a game that we've always fallen in love with. It's the psychological depth, the exploration of the protagonist's inner demons, and the constant feeling of being alone and watched that seeps into every corner of the game. The lore of the Silent Hill series is impeccable, deepening with each sequel of the 4 main titles. Konami has done a great job in crafting and expanding the narrative, developing characters, locations, and monsters, drawing inspiration from religions, myths, and cultural beliefs. A well-written story that everyone is obsessed with. The series has inspired a legion of horror games that followed its twisted footsteps. Titles like Cry of Fear, The Evil Within, Dead by Daylight, and Alan Wake. Various horror games have drawn inspiration from Silent Hill, each incorporating different aspects. Some have gone to the extent of creating remakes for iconic characters from the Silent Hill series, integrating them into their own games, making yet a huge success. This highlights the significant and undeniable influence Silent Hill has had on 2 decades of horror gaming, showcasing its lasting impact. That concludes today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and be sure to stay tuned for more thrilling adventures in the gaming world. Thanks for watching.